Ladies and gentlemen, I'll keep it short because we need plenty of time for the keynote address speaker. It is a privilege to be invited to chair an event such as this within the pharmaceutical space by distinguished pharmacists. But I'll be failing in my position to honor those of you in the room today who, by virtue of your positions of service, right, must be given that recognition so that the younger people can also strive to get to where you are this morning. I will start by thanking NAIP very much, for the honor done me. I am probably the least in the industry, and I'm being sincere about that, because we are probably the youngest company. But I'll tell you how we got this far in just a few minutes. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Mrs. Ken. They haven't recognized you yet. I recognize you. You are the one keeping Ken happy. Thank you for being with us, this morning. And now you see so many friends of Ken to whom you can report him when he misbehaves at home. All right, welcome, madam. The president of PSN, the only Alhaji farm, Tanko Ayebae. There are no two Tanko Ayebaes in Nigeria. Every other one is fake. Thank you very much, sir, for finding time to come all the way from Kano, Kaduna, or Maduguri, to grace this occasion and also support us with your weight, because you carry the entire goodwill of PSN in Nigeria and probably worldwide as they exist in Nigeria to this meeting. So we are honored, to have you, sir. Thank you very much. Of course, I will be filling in my responsibility because that is my primary constituency if I do not mention my own chairman, Tosin, excuse me, Mr. Tosin Jolayemi. Let me correct T, who murdered his surname by, calling him something else. I think he drank coffee this morning instead of tea. God help you. All right. Chairman, sir, I bow and tremble. Welcome. Thank you very much for gracing the occasion. It's not an easy thing to be to not be a pharmacist, yet head organizations that are basically pharmaceutical enterprises, and so you find yourself, trying to, position and balance all of your actions, within a space that you hardly understand. But he has acquitted himself creditably well, and I doff my hat, for the gentleman. Thank you very much, sir, for all you are doing in pharmacy. A few months ago, somebody said I was short of blood, a doctor. And I couldn't figure out who was sucking my blood. And after taking my own drugs, so the thing didn't increase the volume, as fast as it should. And then I took Didion's. I called up to him and said, this is your Didion's. I don't know what it contains, whether it is pure blood or it is blood plasma. And then he sent me a whole carton of Didion's. After taking just 3 bottles, I went back to see the doctor, and doctor said, "What have you done?" I said, "Nah, one thing we then they call the Dion's. I mix it with orange in the morning." And the thing worked perfectly. So you have to pay me for this advert. I, partially I demarketed my own products and then promoted your own product. So it is double payment. Mr. Chairman, PMG man, thank you very much, sir. It's an honor to have you. Of course, there are so many other people, to the right of, the hall and to the left of the hall, worthy of mention, NAVDAC, PCN, Apakama, who says he has retired to a villa in the village, and so on and so forth. Lulu Ojo, a doyen of, pharmaceutical associations who have kept the camaraderie in the profession and also in the industry going. When there is a profession and an industry meeting at crossroads, you need people like him, right, to define the very thin lines, that should not be crossed by either. And he's done a great job of weaving together those of us that you people call charlatans, right? Because we are not pharmacists, they say we are charlatans. I don't know what they are talking about. But the executive secretary PSN knows that we are not charlatans. He's looking at me, and he's looking at me with very bad eyes. Right. So thank you, Lulu, and welcome, Ayebae, and thank you for coming late. All right. Now, I will just take another 2 minutes of your time. I also welcome you, MD, CEO, M&B, my own brother. I will now go to the man of the day, who I have known since the 80s. I think we met for the first time in 1985 or so in Citibank, when it was then known as Nigeria International Bank, and we were colleagues in the bank. I believe he was my senior colleague. I don't know where we were, Nobody was looking at positions at that time. We were all working together to build an enterprise, and we did a good job of it. Alex, excuse me, Alex Oko has come a very long way within the Nigerian enterprises space, from his stint in Citibank to being the managing director of the erstwhile, what was that? It is now Unity Bank, but what was it at that time? I've forgotten. Sorry? New Nigeria Bank, the erstwhile New Nigerian Bank, that is now Unity Bank. And then he went into investment banking activities. And then from that quiet retirement, he was called to national service, where he became the Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises. There, he also acquitted himself creditably well, and we are very proud of what he did. Now, he's retired into his quiet life, and I do hope that one day somebody would again call him up, to come and work for Nigeria, using all of his past experiences, to help build a nation. Now, final thing. For me, I am not here to come and tell you about, how to survive the shocks and taming the tides in the pharmaceutical industry at times like this. That is, at times that we are so challenged. But I am just here to tell you a few fundamental and if you will, very mundane things that we, often overlook. And what is it really? It is about being humble in everything that you do. Uh, Nigeria, unfortunately, has developed tendencies that tends to destroy, not just the present, but destroys the future. First of all, we do not remember our past, right? Neither do the ones that are operating in the present, right? Um, Build enough examples, right, that the children that are coming behind us, right, can emulate and then lash upon and build an enduring nation. We have become a nation of very arrogant, uh, 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 you know, ostentatious, people that believe that everything Nigeria is the best that can be. But the truth is that as much as we all love Nigeria, right, these small tendencies tends to destroy the very fabric of this country. We are a country of 220 million people and growing. And this is the time to be humble. This is the time to build a nation in a manner that the children coming after us, would do the same and probably be greater than us. How did we come to where we are today? It was at the beginning being humble and then expect or develop what you call delayed gratification, within, your company, where you don't immediately begin to reward yourself with big cars, right? If you look at the streets of Nigeria today, you will probably see more Toyota Prados and Toyota Lexuses, right? More than you will see in Japan, who are the manufacturers of these things, right? And we are spending all kinds of scarce resources doing crazy stuff that does not add anything to a people, right? And that is why I like the choice of our keynote speaker today. A very humble gentleman. He's a senior pastor um, in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. That I do think that a lot of young people here can choose as a mentor. We also, I'll be feeling in my responsibility to also acknowledge the fact that we grew under the tutelage, both of us grew under the tutelage of Elder Ohiwere, who you all know, right? And he exemplifies and typifies humility, honesty, and enterprise. And so when you have started that journey with being humble and having the sense of delayed gratification, you then go into building an oasis of sanity, around yourself, because that is what shields you, right, from all the noise around you. It shields you completely, right? So even when people are complaining and they are mourning, right, you are just doing your own thing quietly. And before you know it, right, you go far. And that is essentially the story of Fitzin. When others are saying there's a casting down, like the good book says, we have always said there's a lifting up for us. Because we know that we have worked so hard and God can only reward what we have done. We know that we have done things in ethical ways and God can only reward what we have done. So for me, it's not about the great things, right? It's about the little things that we have failed to do as a nation, right? How I wish that the politicians in this country today, right, will lead and live by example, right? And you would see that things will begin to transform. Unfortunately, they are the ones that are not leading by example. They are the ones that are not living by example. They do crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Right? You allocate all the resources of a country to yourselves to the detriment of the people that you are serving. And you expect the nation to be better for it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Right? I see myself primarily as a servant of my staff and other stakeholders, not as an owner of a business, right? So there's some mentality that you develop that shields you from certain propensities. And I do hope, this morning, like Ken said, we will all relax, listen to the keynote address speaker, and glean a few things from the nuggets that he's going to deliver this morning that will help us, to wade through the challenges that we're seeing. Yes, challenges are there, but I assure you, right, like again, back to what Ken said, they won't last, right? But after this, what happens? Are we going to go back to our vomit? Right? These are the questions that are begging to be answered. And all of us, in building that oasis of sanity around ourselves, must also ensure that we do things within the confines of our little space, right, that helps Nigeria, not things that destroy Nigerians and Nigeria as a whole. I just returned from a trip late yesterday evening from a neighboring country, right? And I was amazed at how quiet, how clean, how organized. This is a black country. How quiet, how clean, how organized, how humble, how diligent the people of that nation is. And then just as I was driving into my own country, it's all chaos everywhere, right? You look to the right, chaos, right? Now, between the border to, I think, Okokumaiko or somewhere, no, to Agbara, there are about 50, right, checkpoints. What are we looking for? Right? And if indeed we were monitoring and tailoring, what do you call that thing, smuggling, do you need that many checkpoints? Right? All they are doing is collecting bribes. Right? And the other country with whom we share this border, from that border to their own capital, has only one checkpoint. And even that checkpoint has maybe 2 people. And we say it is because we are many. Please, let's not use this size as an excuse for all the chaos that we are creating around ourselves. So thank you very much for the time that you have given me this morning. I am sure I haven't spent more than 5 minutes, but if I have done so, God help you. When you make me the chairman of an event, you are in trouble. So, Ajitanko, with your permission, I will now step down. Thank you. Let me, before I step down, welcome my brother, my friend, my soulmate, and my comrade in battle, Dr. Okeakwa, the president of FEMPIA and managing director, CEO of SKG Pharma. Thank you for coming late.